On today's episode, we see Grant take his shirt off. Cheers.
Cheers. Wait,
Cheers.
I missed it.
Cheers.
Okay.
Okay, welcome back to Nana's Nook. On today's episode, we have Adrianne and Grant. And just a little recap, can you guys explain to, you guys have talked about admission a lot in various different blogs and recordings, but you know, I have a very unique audience and they may not know what admission is. So can you guys explain what admission is?
That's fair.
Yeah.
Go for it, Adrianne.
Okay.
Start
So
it.
Admission is an online membership platform that we created for people who either can't afford their own media buyer, or they can't afford to hire an agency, or maybe they work within a brand but they want to exceed their existing knowledge about Facebook and Instagram advertising. And so this membership platform teaches any of those people that I just mentioned how to run successful and profitable Facebook ads that make the most sense for their brand, for their customer, and then for a really full funnel experience. So we deliver trainings, like video trainings, lots of different PDF resources, live webinars, account audits, those type of trainings. And then you also get paired with your dedicated Facebook ads expert who's there for like ongoing support. So it's basically the agency model distilled into a learning platform so that anyone out there can have access to agency best practices and methodology.
That's incredible. So Grant, you are the OG king of admission, but can you tell us a little bit about your recent transition you made and what that means for CTC as a whole?
I can. So going back to what Adrianne said about admission, when we actually a year ago to this day. Did you know that today's
Today?
the anniversary?
Oh,
The
because you got
13th.
hired a year ago.
Yep, the 13th is when we officially inked that we were going to like make admission happen. So
Dang.
that's why we're doing this today, obviously.
I knew that 100%.
So how that's changed is actually it's come from the idea that admission actually, thankfully, is not only still here today, but it's actually growing. And so because of that, it's allowed me to step into a little bit different of a role, but in a way that I still get to be really intimately involved in what admission's doing, but also now have more people involved, like Adrianne, that can now lead it and help take it to the next level. So for me personally, it's allowing me to step into a role where I get to see and be a part of all the business units within the CTC ecosystem, different ways from paid media to brand to content to e-commerce, all different things that we do for clients. When they enter the door, I can now be a part of helping lead those teams, and admission is a part of that, right? It's one of this program that was created to help entrepreneurs on this journey where they can't afford maybe to have some of those CTC services. Now it's off and it's doing its thing, and so Adrianne now gets to come over and help lead that, and I don't get to be in it as much as I like to be in it, but it's in very capable hands. So now it's at a point where the community's grown. We've gotten a lot better with the product, the service in itself, so it's been pretty awesome to see where we are.
What's your new Bossy Pants title?
My new Bossy Pants title is VP of Operations.
Oh,
Yeah.
cheers
Yeah.
to that.
Yeah. I had to look up operations to see like what a proper definition was. I don't know if I fit it, but we're calling it that, so it works.
I feel like you're pretty qualified. We're in good hands here. Well, moving on, it was an obvious no-brainer that Adrianne would kind of be the heiress of admission.
Ooh, Eris, I like that word.
Ooh,
I figured you would.
heiress? Operations?
You were king. You started as
Okay,
king,
king.
and she's the heiress.
Okay. Yeah.
Storytelling.
Okay.
So, what are some recent changes that have been made to admission, and what do you see as like the future of admission?
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a really good
Yeah.
question.
Give me the future.
Well, the fun part about a product like Admission is that it is super fluid and can change really quickly based on sort of the direction of the industry or even the platform. So that is fun, but also a challenge that we have to face every day because people's needs as entrepreneurs, especially in this digital marketing space, vary so widely. So recent changes that have been made to sort of serve our customers and our members better, we're consistently updating like our training videos to make them in line with our best practices here. And so tons of recent changes have been made in terms of the types of trainings that our members have access to in their portal.
Which is actually really challenging.
It's
right,
really
keeping up, because I mean,
keeping up with
things change daily.
Every day here,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, now we're doing this, and now we're doing this, and so making sure that our members have immediate access to the information is a really challenging thing to keep up with, but it's really important to us. Another recent change. I mean, this isn't a change, but this is a huge thing to celebrate. So actually, about 6 months ago, we rolled out a process for our members to be able to identify their 6-month dreams through admission. And so we sort of direct them to create that dream around a 6-month profit goal so that it can be something really tangible that we help them map towards. And so we rolled that out, like I said, like 6 months ago, and recently, just a couple days ago, 2 of our members have achieved their 6-month dreams, which is a really big deal. Not just like met them, but blew past them. And so being able to see that happen and attribute some of their success to the training and the ongoing support that they receive from admission, that's not a change, obviously, but that's a huge, huge milestone for us to be able to see our first members like get there, because that's the whole vision, right? And so in terms of ongoing vision, my like larger vision is just that this product can be attainable to more and more people, no matter how much discretionary funds they have in their business. And so we're creating a course that people can purchase at like a one-time fee if they're not quite ready to pay for an ongoing membership with admission. This course will help them get from like basically zero to launching their first ever Facebook and Instagram ads campaign. And so with the launch of that course, we hope to be able to widen our funnel so that more and more people can like enter our ecosystem at a lower bar. I think
add to that. No, I'm not going to add. What I would say is that something that's like always been at the core of starting admission is that it allowed us, the model itself allowed us to reach a lot more people, right? It's like, and that's what I think what finally resonated with the partners here at CTC was like, as the agency has grown and take on more and more clients in different levels, it's oftentimes there's so much more. Most entrepreneurial journeys are in that 0 to 1 million annual revenue, right? It's like so hard to get to that point.
Yeah.
And so this was a model that allowed us to reach more people with the resources and foundation that we already have here. It's like there's a lot of expertise. There's 80 plus people out there that are on design to buying across so much data and across so many different accounts. Like, how do we take that and help the person who can actually, we can oftentimes have the most impact on, right? Like on their business, where funds are that much more held tightly and that much more resourceful. So it's like, how do we take something like that and then what we're doing here every day to help them apply it? And like this model of this membership ongoing where we teach you how to do it with all the knowledge here, like that was actually the moment where we all said, this has to happen. So from taking it to that to now we're, I think, very much in a phase where it's looking at how do we better segment the content? We have so much of it. How do we create a really unique experience for people wherever they're at in the journey so they know where to go and to get them from this, because where you're at when you just start off Facebook ads is very different to where you are where you've been doing it for a couple of years and you kind of get stuck. And that on top of the program, or on top of the platform always evolving and changing, is like, how do you keep them up with this? So it's like, now we're doing a lot better job of figuring out when you're coming in, where you should be, and how we get you to that next level.
Yeah.
So.
And I think with that too, like roadmap wise, we want to open up our trainings to not just serve Facebook and Instagram for e-commerce specifically, but for service businesses, for boutique retailers, like stuff like that. And then also opening up our trainings to be more platform diverse. So like Snapchat, Google, how can we deliver training? Because we have, like you said, all these people in-house who are experts on not just Facebook and Instagram now, but a lot of other really valuable platforms. And so how can we widen our trainings to be able to speak to those too? So
Great.
it's down the road.
Question 2. We're going to be here for about 2 hours at this
Well,
point.
I was going to say, you guys are so in depth that you kind of just answered like all of these questions. So let's just get to it. Actually, one more I do want to touch on, like, you did touch on it a little bit, but who would you say admission is for?
Yeah, that's a great question. So when we started kicking off the first year, even to where we are now, like we had to be very specific about the space we're playing in. So to be specific, we had to look at what our capabilities were. We play in the e-commerce space, working with brands from say 0 to 20 million inside the door here, right? So that's what we know, and that's what we spend a lot of time doing. Our typical customer is sitting between somewhere of 0 to 1 million in annual revenue for the membership. Our typical customer though also is like knows their way around the platform, has spent some ads, has been doing it, but it's kind of at a point where they're stuck. Maybe 2 years ago where they're having a lot of success, they're not seeing that anymore. And they don't really know how to do it. They're doing it themselves, or maybe they have one other person on their team, but they've got a really viable business there. And this is a big part of their business as far as driving new customer acquisition and driving sales, but they're at a point where like they know enough around Facebook. They don't need the 101 course. They need to know how do they take where they're at now with their great product and actually grow that business. And so that's like who the membership is actually meant for. Now, as we go into the course, that's come about because of the need of, we see a lot of people coming in who really want the kind of like, how do I get started? I know I need to be here. I've kind of dabbled, but I don't know where to start now. Like I'm brand new to Facebook and Instagram advertising. Where do I get started? How do I get set up properly and do this so I'm not wasting money?
Yeah.
Our goal ultimately at the end of the day is to save people time and money. And so if we can do that and help them grow their business in that way, then that's effective. But that's who the membership's for. I think the course is a little bit more elementary in that sense. Yep.
Yeah, I love the addition of the course. I think that's a smart play, and I think you're just right. Like some people just need that help just getting their foot in the door, and I think that's brilliant.
Yeah, the membership is support. It's the ongoing support.
Yeah.
Right, as you're evolving, as you're going, you're in there doing it. How do you get teams of experts, a dedicated coach around you to help you kind of learn?
Yeah, and it's definitely worth it. All of the like praise that has come through has been like really incredible to see. Our team members really work their butts off for them.
Yeah.
Well, great. I think we learned so much about admission, but are there any, I'll give you 30 seconds to do any like plugs for any webinars or events that might be coming up that our viewers should know about?
Yeah, totally. We have, I don't know if this is going to be fit in 30 seconds.
No, yeah,
that doesn't
that's
count.
a joke. You
that
can have whatever.
Count. Yeah, but we have a webinar coming up with Shopify, cannot say webinar, on August 27th at 12 o'clock PST. And so what we're going to be talking about, actually Taylor's going to be leading that 1 hour live session, talking about how you can look at your 2018 Black Friday, Cyber Monday results and apply all of that research and all of that knowledge to make sure that you maximize your results of this year. And so that's going to be super valuable, especially if you're an e-commerce merchant with a Shopify store. It totally applies to you. And
did you say who that's in partnership with?
With Shopify.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I missed that.
Yeah, with Shopify. So
you're a little hazy after
yeah.
Oh yeah. So throwback. See, I say it and it comes back at me.
Right back at you.
Well, great. I loved learning all there is to know about admission, but now I want to learn a little bit more about you two as individuals. So, just random questions, semi-rapid fire, but not really. Okay, kicking it off, and you both answer these.
He has to go first.
Would you rather be deaf or blind?
Deaf. 100%.
Why?
Oh, man.
I'm a visual person. I think most people are. Like, one, you can communicate still. So like you don't need that. Like if you couldn't see what's around you and what's like, I just think that would be like that to me is such an easy one. It's like I've got to be able to like associate that with what I'm doing, what I'm seeing. Like I got to be able to have that. Like sign language is no problem. So
do you know sign language?
I know baby sign language. I actually know baby more. Done.
Braille,
I'm done.
Braille,
Milk.
no problem.
I'm saying that there's
Braille and sign language. Like, how is sign language?
Because I think for me personally, I think that I have to be able to see things. And by the way, the caveat to this is it.
You can't fix either.
Okay.
Like you can't get some surgery to make
But
you
was I not blind and was I not deaf and then I lose one?
Oh man.
Because that changes
things. That changes everything. Were you born
But it still
way?
doesn't change it for me actually. But it does change.
You're born that way.
You're born that way.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'd rather be deaf. Agreed.
I agree too. One question.
But also, if you're born that way, you don't know you don't know any different.
True.
So, but I would rather see it than be able to communicate other ways.
I was talking
really
about this
hard.
with Lauren earlier, and my question was like, I wonder if like if you're deaf, if you make like hear music in your ears, but then I was like, well, or in your head. Then I was thinking like, no, maybe not because they
You don't know.
They don't know.
Yeah.
Can you learn to read when you're deaf?
Yeah.
Can you learn? Yeah.
Yeah. That's like,
Yeah.
so if you can write notes or read notes.
But through sign language, I
that's
assume.
like
But they've
game
never
changer.
heard the note.
You can text message.
You can as
Corey
long as I can
chooses that.
Slack.
You can tweet.
Yeah, emotion comes. You got to see it. Like I just don't like. You're right. There's sound and music. You would lose
Yeah.
that element. I could
But
do
you
away
could
with that.
still do all of that stuff if you were blind because you could use Siri and like Alexa and
True.
stuff.
No, but if you're blind, you couldn't see what's in front of you. You couldn't get
No, it would read it
emotions
back
and
to you. Siri's like, did you want to send blah, blah, blah to Nana? And then you say, yes, send.
I think I would
Wait.
have to see things though too.
No, but you're.
Moving on.
I'm not. I'm not following the audio. Okay.
Okay. What is your go-to karaoke song?
Piano
Oh,
Man.
gosh.
Piano Man. When do we get to see a sample of that?
I don't know if I've actually ever done it. It's just the first one that came to my head.
Anything from
Big Elton
Star is
fan.
Born.
I was just gonna
Anything from Star is Born.
Yeah, we've actually seen that one.
Yeah.
That was a company party that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true.
That
we
was-
did see
yeah.
that live.
Yep, I had promised Morgan I would do that for her, so follow through.
Solid. What is your go-to signature dish that you cook? That you like you're known for?
Oh, that I'm known for?
Yeah.
Oh man, I cook a lot for my friends. So, but I always try to do something different. So I don't have like a thing that I make. But this winter, almost every week, I made this like really good ramen, and my friends loved that, so they kept asking for it. So maybe that. I don't know.
Blue Box mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Actually,
Gourmet.
so
Trader
is-
Joe's little.
Yeah.
okay. Well,
The
see
bunny.
so you're saying I'll say my son loves it, right? I cook it. It's like a no-brainer. But I actually don't do Blue Box. We do the Trader Joe's version, like the
Do you
nice
do the gluten-free?
We do Annie's, so
Annie's. Yeah, the
Annie's
organic.
bougie.
Yep. So
like white shells. that
super
hold the
bougie.
cheese
Yep.
in?
Yeah.
Yep.
I know.
So that's all he knows. He doesn't know Blue Box. I say Blue Box my specialty. He doesn't know it. But I had longtime friend come visit us last weekend, and he's like, Grant, somehow got on top. He's like, I always talk about like how you make the best Blue Box mac and cheese.
you're like, there's literally one way to make
Yeah,
it.
yeah. There's one way to make it, but
It's
so
the pan.
so I made his daughter mac and cheese from the Trader Joe's.
Oh.
She didn't like it, but my son loved it because he knew no different.
What does person
But what
call
about your
mac and
friend?
cheese?
I mean, he's almost 4. He calls it mac and cheese.
Okay, well, since you asked, Valerie calls mac and cheese Mackie Keys, which is super
see,
cute.
that's pretty
yeah,
cute,
It's really
but-
cute.
That's adorable. Hopefully that doesn't last.
And he
until he's
asks for it
but-
for
Hopefully,
breakfast. Yeah.
hopefully when he's 12,
And
he
we'll
calls
be
it.
seeing speech pathologist.
But he could see really well, so he can see.
But he
so
can't
it's good.
talk.
Straight up.
But time out. You were going somewhere with. There's a real way to cook
okay.
Blue Box mac and cheese.
There's not like a real way, but I feel like we used to go to my grandma's all the time, like after school, and she'd make us mac and cheese, and
Yeah.
hers always tasted like off.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I don't know if it was like the type of pan she was using. Like maybe she had this like, what are those like non-stick pans
Yeah.
that just like wore off and maybe
Yeah.
you were like
Sometimes
dying.
it's the type of milk or butter that you use too.
For sure.
And it could have been like expired, but it always had the same
Grandma's always had
taste.
expired milk.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
always
they
had
got-
the same taste every time at her
Really?
house.
So she was
I
consistent,
couldn't
but
like
consistent
it.
in a bad way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Consistently bad, but like I
You still
grew
eat it.
to like that weird.
But you can't
poison
you can't
taste.
replicate it.
And it's
No, and I
probably-
mean I'm glad I can't, but I can taste it right now thinking about
It's
it.
probably
can.
really nostalgic. I have certain like tastes from my grandma's house that are like so associated with her house. It's weird.
I got smells for
Oh,
for
smells.
from grandparents.
For
Like you have a ooh, it's a grandma smell.
Yeah.
Right?
And
And
I
it's
hate
not
when, like,
great, but it's
someone-
like a memory, but it's like not
Yeah.
great.
You mean cigarettes?
So
So you're
Yeah.
really loud.
Yeah.
Cigarettes and Budweiser.
Oh jeez. NorCal.
Yeah, that's Sacktown baby right there.
Oakdale.
Yeah, Oakdale, Modesto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is great conversation, you two. Okay, if you didn't work at CTC, what would you be doing?
Oh man.
I mean,
I'd probably
Adrian's like
open a
15,
restaurant.
So open a restaurant, yeah.
Yeah? What would you serve your ramen?
I don't know what I would serve. I would only serve things that, and when I would run out, I'd run out. So it'd be
Yeah.
like one of those type of places. Yeah, but
Sounds successful.
okay. Literally like the most innocent and vulnerable thing that I just share about what I would be doing if I didn't work here, and you just like smash it. Like,
Rolled it up in a pizza dough ball and
I don't think that chefs like are out there to make a ton of money. Let's be honest.
passion project.
Yeah.
I feel you. Grant?
I probably work in baseball. I was never good enough to ever be in baseball, but I love the sport. Unlike Corey, who was good enough and hates it, so we have quite a relationship. But I wouldn't enjoy
Would you
doing
be like
something.
an MC? Is that what they're called?
MC.
Like a sports broadcaster.
Like a-
Yeah. But like at the actual game, like, oh, better to up than a baseball.
I'm glad you think I'd be that good on camera, but absolutely not.
Or not even on camera, just like in the box.
Like
I
in the
think
box.
you should do that, man.
No, I'm not gonna try.
I actually don't know what it'd be. I actually don't know.
PA
That's
announcer.
a PA.
PA?
Okay, there's also there's something called a sports broadcaster, right?
There is, yes.
Yeah.
That's like what JP does sometimes in his spare time.
Yeah, JP's rolling that way. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. That's probably what I'd do.
So
Something like that.
baseball related.
Baseball
I can see you
related.
being like a manager.
I could be. Thank you.
Yeah.
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 Coach of
Very
baseball.
like sincere
Corey's like
and caring.
third base coach. Steele.
Do you
Yeah.
hope to coach Preston's team one day?
100%. 100%.
When
That's
can you
actually like
join?
that actually is like a dream of mine.
Like
TMID.
next year. Can
Like
you join?
so yeah, four is
baseball pants
four
with
is the
a little
cutoff,
butt.
4 is the start,
Oh.
and it's funny like he's always loved baseball like from a really early age where most kids didn't.
Yeah.
He cared about it. Like we'd go out and play baseball. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh my gosh, there's nobody. Now he's at a phase where he's like, I don't even like him. I just want to be a policeman, and I'm like, ooh. And so now it's day to day. If I ask him sometimes, he's like, yeah, I want to play baseball. Other times he's like, no, I don't want to. So
Yeah. Kids are.
kids
You
are
can
finicky
like
like
force
that.
that a little bit on him.
Oh, 100% force it.
Yeah.
You can't drive.
Yeah.
We're going where
This
daddy
is what it is.
Fowler has
this is
like
for
a
daddy.
toy shovel, like, yeah, it's just like a plastic toy shovel, but he uses it as a baseball, and he says, "Batter up," and that's what he does with it
Cute.
over
So-
and over and over and over again. So
But
maybe
he-
they can play on the same team.
That's rad. I
You
like
should
that.
get on like Tommy's game. Have you heard what Tommy's doing with his son?
No.
His own dream. Maybe I'm not supposed to share this, but
Whatever.
It's fine. No one's watching this right now.
no one watches this. But is to like visit every single baseball field in America with his son.
Tommy, no. I wasn't even going for the handshake, but I'm ready to. I was gonna say, have I talked to Tommy? So, all right, intimate moment.
Yeah.
When Preston turned 4, when he's old enough to go, so I have a really close college buddy who has 2 boys around the same age, one a little older, one a little younger, who also loves baseball, big Giants fans. And I've talked to him about it. I said, when they're at that certain age where we can do it, once a year, we'll go to a new city for 3 days, and we'll show them a new city, and we'll catch a game. And
Love
the
it.
idea, after by the time they're 18, if we do this a couple times a year, then we would fit every stadium. So we'll see different markets in different stadiums. Actually, we don't even need 18 because there's several markets that have several
That's
stadiums.
really cute.
Yeah.
So that was like our goal.
That's exactly.
What's that?
Yeah.
That's Tommy's exactly.
Yeah.
Dude, I
Yeah,
wonder.
and like
Comment on
him
the same
telling me
page.
that like
Yeah.
made me wish that I could be a dad with this son.
Yeah.
Like that's such a great
Moms can go to baseball games with their
Moms
sons
can
too.
for
definitely do
sure.
that.
I can go with a future daughter if I wanted to. But it just I don't know. There's something special about that.
Yeah, so now that's what I'm but it's like, well, no, I'll do something separate than that. But that's so true.
Yeah.
But that wasn't what my dream job was, so I didn't say that there.
Okay.
So.
Well, great. Oh, damn. This is longer than Taylor's, you guys.
That's all right.
Okay, ready? Okay. What is the most embarrassing thing you've ever done?
It's a rough question.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is this one lame? We can skip it.
Yeah, skip it. I literally
Okay.
don't know. I'd have to
It's
think
kinda
about it for
hard.
a while.
Okay, final question. This is specifically for Grant. But if you were to not wear flannel, what might we see you in?
A plain white tee.
Okay.
Or a plain black tee. Yeah.
Great.
You remember that band?
A plain white tee with a white button up over it.
Well, that's why it's pretty obvious.
If you're looking for more flannel options, check into admission webinars. This
Yeah.
guy has like a closet full.
But there's a difference between flannel
Flannel
and
and
plaid.
plaid.
So can we clarify what
True.
that is?
I rock
It's
both.
mostly plaid.
It's
Yeah,
mostly,
mostly
plaid.
plaid.
I do have some good flannels, but it's mostly plaid
Do you
because we're in
shop
Southern California.
for yourself, or does Lori shop for you?
Yeah, blend. Usually me. But what I do is I
Doo-doo.
What I do is I find. That's why I spaced it out like that. That's why I said do.
Smart.
Do.
I'm too much of
Bird.
a child to not let
Yeah. I knew it was coming, so Adrian's never heard that joke, so there she goes. Is I will find one that fits right, and then I'll just buy multiple colors, multiple sizes.
What is like your most right fitting plaid? Is it from like
I'm
Abercrombie?
gonna cry.
From like J. Crew? Where's it from? Target?
Abercrombie.
Wait, is that real?
No, let me ask you a question. When was the last time you walked into an Abercrombie and Fitch?
A very long time, but actually this weekend I was like out with my
No.
girlfriend.
When was the last time? High school?
No, I used to work at Abercrombie and I
Of course you did. High school?
that place. No, college.
How low rise were
I
your
got
jeans?
extra cash working there in college.
Yeah, and you
alright?
got 30% discount, and you had to be good looking to get offered a job, so it was kind of a status thing.
No, I worked at the Santa Ana one,
Yeah.
and we were like the slumming it crew, and that's why I loved it so much.
I can picture you. Oh, it's just perfect. The visual's like perfect.
I actually would volunteer to work the stock
Yeah.
because that crew was just so much better than the models.
Yeah.
And I would host these Family Feud marathons in the back, and we'd chuck the sock things as fast as possible. It was so fun.
Amazing.
Memories.
Dang, the spirit. That's literally the spirit back in high school.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that about does it for Nana's
It's
Nook.
over.
I know. Do
I'm
we want
bummed.
more? What else can we talk
I'm
about?
bummed that it's over. Well, I'm bummed that he got a wardrobe question and I didn't. So
How
not as
many
close-
rompers and jumpsuits do you? No, how many scarves do you own?
actually, 4. Not a lot. I know.
Repeat.
Yeah, repeat scarves.
Yeah. Well, great. Thank you for
That's
joining
it.
the Nook.
You can cut
Signing
that
off.
scarf part out.